At the end of One Piece chapter 1068, Luffy is reunited with Rob Lucci. Besides that, Luffy was also accompanied by Jinbe and Chopper. Many have speculated that there will be a rematch between Luffy and Lucci, but there is also a possibility that it will not be Luffy who will fight Lucci but Jinbe. If that happened, who would win? But before we start this video, please smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and click notification bell, or you will miss future anime videos. Jinbe's strength level when he appeared before the time skip and now feels not much different. In Onigashima, Jinbe's power is noticeably surpassing the who's who that is Toby Rappo. It could be that he can be matched equally against the Yonko commander. Meanwhile, before the time skip, we saw Jinbe successfully beat Gecko Moria with one hard punch. Jinbe probably mastered some new techniques after the time skip, but from what I've noticed, Jinbe's strength level from before and after the time skip isn't too drastic, different from Luffy and friends who feel weaker than Jinbe before the time skip, and now some are on par or surpass Jinbe. On the other hand, Rob Lucci is a tough fighter. Luffy had already fought him in Enies lobby. Even though Lucci's strength is only a standard Zoan, not ancient or mythical, Lucci is still able to make Luffy hurt with his Rokushiki techniques. According to Who's Who, his potential is considered on par with Rob Lucci, so we can assume that Lucci's and Who's Who's power levels are not much different. But will it be enough for Lucci to beat Jinbe? Because Who's Who and Lucci's power levels are equal, the fight between Jinbe and Who's Who is enough to give an idea of what will happen if Jinbe fights Lucci. Lucci most likely couldn't do much. We'll see for ourselves how Jinbe can survive the attacks of Who's Who. Then Jinbe's backhand could knock Who's Who over. Jinbe's mastery of armament haki seems to be so good that Who's Who has a hard time breaking through it in combat situations. If Who's Who has trouble breaking through Jinbe's defense, what happens if Lucci fights him? Lucci might be able to penetrate Jinbe's defense with Rikugan, but Soru, Rankyaku, and other techniques may not be able to penetrate Jinbe's haki. On the other hand, Jinbe's every punch would hurt Lucci. Worth noting, the Who's Who's Devil Fruit is an ancient Zoan. The Who's Who's defense and toughness should surpass the standard Zoan Lucci, so each of Jinbe's haki punches will impact Lucci more than Who's Who. But we don't know much about Lucci's strength after the time skip. But the most obvious, it seems that now he has armament haki and observation haki. The problem is, Who's Who also has armament haki and observation haki. Jinbe can still beat him, but it doesn't rule out the possibility that Lucci after the time skip might be even more difficult to beat than Who's Who. So that's my analysis of what would happen if Jinbe fought Rob Lucci on Egghead Island. What do you think?